morning. Today we're going to be talking about the Where I'm From poem. This is truly one of my favorite poems because in this poem you get to write about your family. So you're going to be writing a Where I'm From poem, but it won't be the typical I am from Armonk or I am from New York. No, this poem is about real specific nouns. So we want to be real specific in how we describe where we come from. So, if you enjoy talking about your family or you enjoy telling people stories, this might be the poem for you. So, in this poem, you must include a lot of imagery. Remember, imagery suggests how something looks, sounds, feels, smells, or tastes. And how do we create imagery? Well, in this poem, imagery is created with very specific nouns. So, the reader will have an image of what you're referring to. For example, you wouldn't say a flower when you knew that you were talking about a daisy or a rose. You want to be real specific. And something like laundry detergent, you can use a brand name if you know it. So as we get into this, you'll see what I mean. So the first thing you're going to want to do is look at the template. And this is in your direction slides. And what I would suggest you do is print it out so that you have it in front of you. And you can see that in the parentheses are different things that it's asking you to include in the poem. So it really guides you step by step. You can change it around to suit your own specific needs, but we don't want you to shorten it too much. At the end of the first stanza, you'll see that it says, a plant or a tree near your home whose long gone limbs I remember as if they were my own. This is one example of one that I might change. If you don't have a specific tree or plant that you remember, meaning it's gone, then you might have to change the wording around. Maybe the tree is still there. And so you can change the words around to suit you. As you look down, it's asking you to talk about family traditions or traits, family stories or habits. I'm sure we all have stories in our own personal lives that would be fun to include in a poem. And I'll show you some examples in a minute. So again, if you need to go through this template and change some of the ideas, that's fine, but please don't shorten it too much. So let's take a look at the poem that I wrote about my life, where I'm from. And I'll read it to you, and at the end I'll point some things out. It says, I am from Sunday coffee cake, from snakes, dogs, and parrots. I am from bunk beds and orange shag carpeting, fuzzy, smelled like 1979, felt like a lion's mane. I am from the tomato plants, Pachysandra, and Mima and Pop's climbing oak, whose long gone limbs I remember as if they were my own. I'm from ham, macaroni, and cheese, sitting on top of the stairs being told, don't go down there till I say okay, from Craig and Kathy. I'm from intellectuals, kindness, and athletes, and from crazy Lulu until I was so dizzy I couldn't see straight. I'm from simmer down, and I'll give you something to cry about. From you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. I'm from sunny Florida vacations that always ended too soon. I'm from New York, Ireland, Germany, and who knows where else. I'm from, please sit with me on the bus. I can't do this, it's too long. Please walk me to my classroom. From sleep tight, don't let the bedbugs bite. I'm from generosity and sacrifice, hours of school, work, laundry, cooking, cleaning, which I never realized or appreciated enough. Now, that last part I just read to you about sacrifice is about my mom and how, as children, we probably didn't appreciate all of her hard work. In the first stanza, I wrote about a tree that we used to climb at my grandparents' house that has since been cut down, so that did work for my poem. In the second stanza, I wrote about foods that we ate on Christmas and the idea of waiting at the top of the stairs, which is such a fond memory of mine. In my third stanza, I wrote some funny family stories about my grandfathers and about songs that we used to sing and vacations we used to go on. So I had a really nice time writing this poem, and it was time for me to really talk about my childhood in a fond way. Now, if we go to the next poem, it's a Where I'm From poem by George Ella Leon. And this is the original. This is where we got our idea from for this Where I'm From poem. I'm not going to read this entire one to you because there is a link in your Google Classroom where you can hear this poem and actually see a little video that was put together. So if you go back to your Google Classroom and you press on the link, you can watch this video. I hope you enjoy writing this poem.